Over 6,000 students from the KNUST, some of whom are said to have diverted their school fees for sports betting, have deferred their courses for non-payment of fees. Education Minister says government has released funds for the feeding of teacher trainees to help save the students from finding their own means to feed themselves on campus from May 8th. President Akufo-Addo consoles Bishop Heward-Mills on the son's death, and 5 people arrested for alleged illegal demolition of some buildings at Pampaso in the eastern region. Welcome to the news in brief on Graphic Online. Today, it came out that teacher trainees across all public colleges of education may have to start finding their own means to feed themselves from the 8th of May as a result of the government's delay in the release of funds to pay for 6 months of feeding fee arrears. The National Conference of Principals of Colleges of Education, in a press statement, said suppliers had threatened not to supply any food items to the colleges if there was no concrete action to pay monies owed them. But at a press briefing reacting to Prinkof's move this afternoon, Dr. Heward-Mills, the Minister of Education, said the government has released 67.9 million Ghana cedis to the colleges.
Speaking at the meeting with the press, Dr. Heward-Mills explained that the 67.9 million Ghana cedis is for feeding and running of the colleges. He said the government was committed to fulfilling its promises to the colleges of education. Prinkof, in its press statement, said it was adopting the self-feeding measure by students to ensure that there was no disruption of the academic calendar. For starters, trainee teachers were to be provided 2 meals, breakfast and supper only for 1 week, from April 23 to April 30, and then from May 1 to May 8, they would have been given lunch only. After May 8, then they would have had to provide their own meals until their feeding allowances were paid. Prinkov went ahead to encourage food vendors on campuses to increase the quantity of daily meals they cook for sale to students.
And still on academic affairs, we take you to Kumasi, where over 6,000 students, representing about 8% of the total student population of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, have had to defer their courses in line with the university's regulations for non-payment of school fees. While some of the students are said to be needy and can't simply raise the money to pay their fees, others are said to have diverted their monies into other ventures such as sports betting.
The academic board of the KNUST on Tuesday made it known to the affected students that they were deferring their various programs for non-payment of academic user fees. Early this year, the university extended the payment date from March 21 to April 11 to allow the students to honor their obligation. But as of last week, when mid-semester examinations were starting, the over 6,000 students out of the 85,276 had reneged on their promises. Dear students, your program has been deferred as you have not met the minimum requirements of the KNUST fees, credit and debt management policy, read the messages the university sent to the affected students. The University Relations Officer, Dr. Daniel Norris-Bequin, told Graphic Online some of the affected students have invested their fees in many businesses, including online taxi hailing services, and were yet to recoup the investment. Some too, he alleged, used their fees to engage in online betting, especially on the English Premier League, and most of them have run at a loss.
The system is automatic, so we set the date. Once the date elapses, it means that the system automatically defers you. So now the system is communicating through text message to those people who are affected. If you are a student and you have paid that required percentage and you have registered, you can go through your head of department or the office of the dean of student for what they will guide you as to what to do so that they can clear you. But we also know and we have sufficient evidence that majority of these students who are having these challenges are students who have decided to use their school fees for other things apart from paying for the school fees. We know some have Uber cars which they use for businesses. Some are into bakery, some are into selling of phones and accessories, and they use the school fees. And then others also go to do my bet by betting, game betting and other things. So if you go and bet and the business goes bad, whose money is supposed to be used to run the university?
And President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo on Tuesday commiserated with Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, the founder and general overseer of the Lighthouse Church International, and the family on the death of their son.
Dr. David Heward-Mills, a research physician at Trainees Hospital for Children in Galveston, died in the United States at the age of 31 after a short illness last Friday. Visiting the bereaved bishop and the family at their residence at Jowlin, Accra, President Akufo-Addo wrote some words of encouragement and sympathy in the Book of Condolence and had a few heartwarming words for the family. I came to express the sympathies and condolences of my family and I on this tragic loss. I wish the bishop and his family the strength, comfort, and love of the Almighty in this difficult time. May God console and bless the family, President Akufo-Addo wrote in the Book of Condolence.
And we end the brief with a story from the Eastern region, where 5 people have been arrested by the police for their alleged involvement in what the police say was an illegal demolition of 11 houses at Pampaso No. 1 near Tichamante in the Eastern region last Monday.
The suspects were identified by the victims of the demolition after a swoop by the police. The affected persons, numbering over 200, blocked the road with blocks and burnt tires to express their frustration. The police have named the suspects Kwaku Buadu, a 49-year-old musician, Kwame Ahovi, 37, Tai Dixon, 35, Kofi Efiadeyu, 33, and Benjamin Anum, 25. Meanwhile, the Member of Parliament for Nsaweme Dredri, Frank Anodompre, has presented building materials and some relief items to the affected persons.
News in Brief was brought to you by Graphic News Plus.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
Thank you for watching. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, please visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic GH. I am Enoch Oda Oheneafa Frempong.